Senator Obafemi, you do special advisor to the president on political matters.
Okay, sir. So as a special advisor to the president on political matters, so just recently, the INEC appointed Mrs. Amina Zakari as a collation officer, and that is really raising a lot of doubts, considering the reactions from especially the opposition parties. So what is your opinion? What's your take on that?
Well, I don't work with INEC. I'm a member of APC, and I'm special advisor to the president on political matters. And I'm not too sure the media got their story right, that Amina was appointed as a coalition officer. The chairman of INEC is the chief coalition officer for presidential election. As you could see in the last election, when Atairu Jega was presided over the coalition of the result of the presidential election. I think there is a lot of mischief going on. This woman has worked with INEC, all this year. She was there before Buhari, became president. She was there under Obasanjo. She was there under Jonathan. So why are we making so much noise now? Nobody has found out one thing. I don't even want to be seen to be defending her, but fair is fair. Why are they embarrassing the poor woman? For what? So for me, I think those who are crying wolf have no reason to do so. But again, what I've seen is either of two things. It's either when you are in a game like this, you are going for an election, and you know that there is no chance, then you hold on to all manners of straws, no matter how fickle they may be. Secondly, is that if you have a plan to rig, and then you then want to again play a game of cover up or of distraction, you then will accuse your opponent of what you are about to do. That is my suspicion in this case. I think it is so much of distraction. It's so much of game playing. It's so much of there is a particular word I'm looking for, which I can't remember now. So much of I remember that word. But the PDP is playing a game. Either they have seen defeat coming, or they are trying to see in us what they are. They are trying to accuse us of what they are planning to do.
However, sir, there are actually speculations that this woman is actually the niece of Mr. President. And yesterday, there was a press statement from Villa that says she is not the niece but a step niece of the president.
Yes, the woman has ever said that. Yeah, she has said that. I've seen a statement from her. I've seen a video, where she loudly claimed that she's not biologically related to Mr. President. So, these will have all manners of stories in their pouch. I think they are just bringing them out one after the other to cover their shortcomings. You said, is it not the same people who said the president is not Buhari, is one Jibril from Sudan? They said that some weeks ago, and it was all over the place. Suddenly, they now said the woman appointed, given a role in INEC, is also not, is now Buhari's relation. Is it the relation of Jibril from Sudan, or the relation of Buhari, who they claim has died when he was sick? So you can see that these people are confused. So a while ago you said Faunika Ode and his fellow travelers said Buhari was dead, and that the person claimed to be Buhari now is a clone, and is somebody called Jibril from Sudan. Suddenly they now said the woman working in INEC is now a relation to Buhari, who they claim to have died, and so which one do we believe? So for me, I think they are confused. I've not seen any coordinated strategy they have for this election. They have no program, they have no strategy, they have no style, they have just not. They just beating about the bush, floating like somebody or a ship, that is lost, the Atlantic Ocean. They have no compass. That's the way I see PDP, and it's so unfortunate. But we are going on. We are, presenting our manifesto titled, Next Level. We are campaigning all over the place. We are trying to convince, Nigerians, telling them what we have done and what we are going to do again in simple, understandable language, and in a manner that is decent. That's what we are doing. That's why we are different from them, and that's why we are going to beat them come February.
Okay, so as one of the appointees that have been working closely with Mr. President,
yes,
even the Vice President.
Yes.
Why do you think Mr. President should be re-elected? What is the scorecard of the president?
Because he has done well. First of all, let me tell you, if you want to look at character and character matters in leadership, there is no Nigerian who will deny the fact that the president is not a man of integrity. And in everything, if a person is competent, super competent, if he lacks integrity, that competence will amount to nothing. So in terms of character, he has a solid character. No Nigerian anywhere can take that away from Mr. President. That's one. And when he came, he outlined the things that he's going to do when he becomes president, which he has been pursuing since he was sworn in as president. He promised that he was going to fight corruption. Corruption has come on the agenda, in Nigeria, and is fighting it. People are going to jail. People have been investigated. Properties have been seized. Some people have run out on exile because they could not defend their wealth. So any Nigerian today who wakes up to tell you that this president, this government is not fighting corruption, must be dreaming. Secondly, he said that he was going to look at the economy, and he's working on that. He's diversifying the economy. A lot has changed. A lot of progress has been made in the area of food production, in the area of agriculture. By next year, it is said that we may not again import a single grain of rice. Right now, 95% of the rice we are consuming is produced here in Nigeria. So many other things have been explored. In the area of mineral resources, so much is being done. To make sure that we earn income from other sources than oil. He promised that. Apart from the fact that he has blocked all the leakages in government, most of the leakages in government. So that is freeing up more resources for infrastructure development. So that has been achieved. He then talked about making Nigeria secure, and that is an ongoing process. I remember in 2015 I was in the Senate here. You need to come to the Senate and see the level of security there. We were all afraid that any time Boko Haram could strike, the place could be bombed. Everywhere in Abuja, nobody felt free to move around. There were diversions everywhere. Roads being blocked, with all manners of barrier. There were bomb blasts in the marketplace, somewhere. There was one in the motor park somewhere, attacks here and there. In Kano, a mosque was attacked and several people died. And you hear incidents all over the country. But that has stopped. But there are remnants of Boko Haram at the fringes of Borno State, and that is the nature of terrorism. It's not something that goes away in a day. I remember the case of the Red Brigade in Italy. For over a period of 25 years, the Red Brigades were a terror to Italy, but over the time they fizzle out, just the way Boko Haram is going to fizzle out as well. In the Western society, there have been cases of terrorism. Today, in Britain, in America, there are special departments set up to fight terrorism. The same thing we are doing in Nigeria. So, on the issue of security, we can score Mr. President a pass. So, he came on those agenda, and for me, he has passed. And let me also say this: a problem created over several years. How many years of military government? How many 16 years of PDP rule? You think that problem all of those problems can be solved within 3 years? It is the nation of building foundation. Let me just give an example. Somebody comes to a community, set a house on fire, a house that has been existing, that has been built over the years. You put a fire to it, and then somebody say you should reconstruct it. You think that can be done overnight? You first of all clear the debris. You take away the debris. You hire an architect, to design a new house. Then you do a foundation, and then begin to put blocks upon blocks. Before you begin to see that things are going on. Let me even use an allegory. Over the years, all through the reign of PDP for 16 years, they said they were going to construct a bridge, a second Niger bridge. They kept going there, laying foundation, commissioning, budgeting for it, and nothing happened. Now, Buhari is committed to that, and work is going on there day and night. If you have not seen the bridge come up now, it is because you know, you have to provide foundation. And the foundation for the second Niger bridge is almost 12-story, you know, deep down in the water. And that is the kind of thing we are doing now. We are building a solid foundation for Nigeria. Nobody commends you for building a foundation. You are only commended at the time the house has risen up, you have roofed it, you are fixing the windows, you are painting, you are decorating. That's when somebody will say, oh, congratulations, this is a very beautiful house. We shall get there. We shall get there. We cannot score ourselves 100% now. Nigerians are scoring us a pass mark. Yes, things may be difficult for some people. People may be angry because free money has dried up. You know, no nation grows on free money. We must all be productive. We must all contribute our quota. The time when somebody goes to the villa and collected free $200,000 without doing anything, without adding any value, it's over. It cannot come back again. We shall not allow that to come back. Whatever money is available, whatever resources available in this country, the president has said will be used, you know, for the development of our infrastructure, for the reconstruction of our schools, for provision of medical facilities in hospitals, for building great airports, for building railway line from Lagos to Kano, from Lagos to Calabar, from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri, from Alaja to Warri. All of these are the kind of things the president is spending money on. If you come to visit him today, you are an imam, a bishop, a great pastor, an emir, an obi, a kabiesi, and you come to give. The man talk to you, try to convince you of what he's doing, you know, give you a handshake, take photograph with you. If you are lucky, they give you water, tom and bitter cola, and you go home. That is the kind of man he is, and that is why the number of elites are shouting and shouting. He has said, whether you like it or not, Nigerians must live a good life, and that is why he has come to power. That is why, you know, he is sacrificing his retirement, you know, to be in government, so that he could leave a legacy of service, a legacy of a country with functioning infrastructure, a legacy of, you know, a free and fair election, a legacy of a future that is bright, you know, and rewarding. That is the ideal of Mr. President.
Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.